Welcome everybody to another episode of the ArenaLabs PvP podcast. I'm your host Sneakers, joined by my fellow co-host Craola.
Yo.
Man, it's one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. So we're in a funny point at the moment. Content wise, we've had we're in that sort of purgatory of content at the moment at Craola. What do you think?
Purgatory. You mean like a mid-ground where nothing's going on?
Yeah, basically. We as well. The announcement for getting new players up from Steam has sort of just been delayed as well. But that kind of comes on the heels of sort of semi-good news because ArenaNet did say they're wanting to sort of focus their resources into the expansion rather than going to Steam, which I get. I think the expansion is probably more important, especially when they do move to Steam, because then you've got things coming forward. But I don't know, new players, some lifeblood would be quite nice in PvP. Don't know about you.
Actually, I have a question for you, Slinks.
Go ahead, dude.
Past couple of days, you've been kind of wanting to try out other games.
Yeah.
I want to quote you here right at the beginning of the podcast.
Okay.
Wait, where is it?
I think I know exactly the quote that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're trying to think.
Needed a game where I can just have fun on.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because as much as as much as I love Guild Wars 2, the PvP scene, I like to try hard a lot on it and primarily play with friends a lot of the time. The reason I play Guild Wars 2 is a social game for me, and PvP, I hate losing. I'm a really bad loser. It sounds bad, but like I'm sporting, I'll be like, yeah, fair enough, but I don't enjoy it. No one does really, and having a game where I can just sort of step back and go, okay, I'm not trying to be great at it. I don't have nothing to prove. I'm just there to just have a bit of a laugh and have some fun moments with, which is arguably what I should be doing in Guild Wars. It is a game, but it's sort of, I'm in that sort of space at the moment where I want to win. So I've kind of been playing. I've gone back to my old days of Overwatch, and I'm having so much fun on it. It's just going on, having a bit of a giggle, doing a little bit. I tried a little bit of competitive. Found that the atmosphere that they've created on that game is different. Like everybody, it's encouraged that you go to team chat, which I really like. I don't know how you would feel if a team chat option would be in Guild Wars. But yeah, because we know the community is, the community. We're all a bunch of tryhards and plebs at the same time. But the atmosphere, there's certain games I've been kind of dabbling in and going, oh, that's really cool. That'd be great in Guild Wars. And the thing I like about Overwatch is the sort of, it can be toxic like any PvP game, but sort of the way they've encouraged certain behaviors, like going, yo, you should probably get on team comms and call out certain things, focus targets, call switches, communicate with your team. And quite often, that's the winning team. Like, I was playing last night, and I got in a full, 6 people on the team, all in comms, and we absolutely obliterated the other team. It was so good.
Yeah. Actually, that's what we're trying to do with the in-house games, right? Where voice comms are mandatory.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be perfect for the game.
Yeah, it's just it needs a sort of a little bit of a push from ArenaNet on encouraging certain behaviors, and probably a little bit on our part. I know there's some people who go, nah, I don't like being on comms, which is fair enough. Not everybody does. But
it's optional, right?
Yeah, it is optional. Yeah, you can go into comms, but it definitely helps. Like, if you're trying to win in ranked, having some sort of communication on your team is incredible. Like when me and you play, Craola, it's just focus his target, you're ready, 3, 2, 1, and both the thief and the rev just goes in and deletes somebody. Even that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Guild Wars 2 in itself is a very complicated game, and having voice comms would be much better, like just in ranked queue, if anything. like it takes a lot to type. Think like if you know or not. Like even if you're a good player, look at map at certain moments when you would rather focus on something else, right? So having just that voice telling you this guy's coming is, or like I'm going there or whatever's happening would be really helpful for the game state. I don't know. I think we're like you're branching off of the idea that you're not having fun in Guild Wars 2, right? You want to
It's
win.
yeah,
You can't get it. Like we've been playing together for a couple months now, and we've been getting crap games. Like we've got 18 kills, 0 deaths, both of us, and we still can't win. And it's not because, well, it's not just because we can't rotate prop whatever else mistakes we're doing. It's because some games are just not unwinnable, but unplayable.
I think, yeah, just to point out for like a disclaimer, we do not claim to be gods of PvP. It's like we're obviously still making mistakes along the way, but there's
No, no, no. Look. You're
but
doing.
no, but at the same time, we're doing those sort of games like big kill games, farming players, and then you've still got people on your team running into like big outnumbered fights, and there's like, what can I do to sort of like, what more can I do? That's the feeling that we're having at the moment. Well, I know
Well,
I'm
if you
having.
wanna, you can dissect it a bit, right? So, we join a game. We have three random guys. Maybe we know one of them. Maybe we don't. Like whatever. But the rest, we're like no idea who they are. So, as soon as we engage in the mid fight, you see like right away that okay, maybe the enemy rev is focusing your necro really hard, and your necro is not doing anything about it. Like he's not kiting. He's not. And at that point, what we've noticed, right? What we've been calling out is like, okay, move, move, move. Like it's just gonna fail. And every time we try salvage the situation, it fails. Now dissect it in this kind of way, like even CMC last time we had him on said like the system a lot of times fails because it's just searching to get a game together, right? And that guy that maybe whatever, maybe his 10th game or whatever it is, maybe get pulled into the game, put on your team or whatever, and it's a big hindrance, 5v4 in that case is a very tough thing. Why is it 5v4? You're not lacking a player. You actually have a dummy there that they can profit off.
I think
Like you think he's going to be a good teammate, but when they engage it and kill him, you're stuck in a 4v3 or whatever outnumbered situation, and you wipe because of that, and then another improper rotation just leads to a snowball, and the game's over basically, like nothing.
I think it's something interesting that you mentioned there, referring back to the last week's CMC episode. Is CMC mentioned that because he's obviously got the data behind the scenes, and he was saying that matchmaking is actually pretty accurate with the rating system, but I think that's more of a show of how bad the rating system is for putting people in the wrong rating. And then when it obviously over time, it can have maybe the desired effect. By the end of the season, someone would have lost they maybe started into a certain rank, lost all the games, right, and put them in the right rank by the end of the season. But you've got to think of all those games that they lost. There's 4 other players on the team.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So placements are a funny thing for me. You've got to try hard on your placements more than any other sort of game, I would feel, and sort of 10 games after. Like the first 20 games of the season are the most important. From there, you can kind of chill out.
Ugh,
It's
I
really,
don't care about the rating really.
yeah, that's the problem. We've talked about this quite a few times. This is going to just be one of those rant episodes. We'll try and bring it up at some point, but they need some sort of prestige in the game. That's what we want. It's like some reason to go. Rank means something. So if I go into PvE and I've got a plat badge above my head, people are like, "Oh shit, this guy's a good." Like in reality, it's just like people don't care. PvE player, it's like we should all see different things. Like raiders should have a title, or PvP, like PvP players. Yes, we've got the titles, which is cool, but it's like a one and done thing. There's no sort of progression title, which I'm going to refer back to back in my day in Guild Wars 1. We had all the PvP titles, and you had different tiers. So I'll give Heroes Ascent for example.
The
Yeah,
system way better than it
yeah,
is in
Heroes
two.
Ascent. You had different tiers, and from tier 1, you could display the title. So it's like and then you've got Legendary Hero at one end, and in between from 1 to 10. 1 to 12, I can't remember what it was now. God, that's going back. You would have different, so it'd be like Conquering Hero, you'd have a legendary hero right at the top, and each one would have a different thing, and you could display that. In Guild Wars 2, it's like, okay, you can top 250, cool, you're a Dame of the Arena or Baron of the, cool, you've got your title, you go off now, you don't have to play ever again. I think a tier system for a hero, like for your titles, would be sort of something you could focus on long term. Like the more you play, the higher rank you get. So say if you go, you get points for playing in Plat 2 games. So if you're in Plat 2, you get, this is how GVG used to work. Used to, I can't remember if it was top 500 or top 250 you had to be in your guild and their guild, right? I think it was top 500. So say our guild, Craola, we would be top 500. We would come up against another team or another guild in top 500. If we won, we would then get a point for champion points, and those would have their own tiers. So you'd be like rank 5 champion, okay? So that's how you'd have to accumulate that time. You'd be like, oh damn, they've played top tier games against top tier players to achieve that rank. Instead of like if you look at the random arenas sort of thing, where for any win you would gain points, you'd be like, oh, they played a hell of a lot of random arenas. So you've got different sort of tiers. Go, oh, they've done X amount of games against X amount of, you know what I mean? It just needs a rework, sort of the titles. Yes, the progression. There is zero PvP progression in Guild Wars 2. Like you already have access to everything, which I love. I think that's a brilliant system. You should have access to all the equipment, and then it focuses on skill. But there needs to be a way of giving the prestigious awards to dedicated PvP players. Maybe not just the best players, because like yes, we all like playing stuff, and if it's only for the best players, it's almost like gatekeeping it. But there needs to be some sort of progression. So me as a player, I can go, oh damn, I really want to get. I love ranked conquest. Cool. I want to be known as quite a good conquest. I want a sort of a progression there instead of just going, oh, I get the same plat symbol next to my name, whether I'm in 1, 2, or 3. It just needs a rework, if you get what I mean. That's up to developers to get creative.
Well, you're talking about progression there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were in the talk as well about balance. I think that's like the main topic of what players expect to change to make the game better. But let's focus on another avenue now. Like I think we can say that like team play is very important in Guild Wars 2 if you want to try hard, especially like you can solo queue however long you want, but if you want to learn and engage in the game, not only the fastest and easiest way, but the best and proper way for the community, it would be as well if players would kind of teach each other in that sense, play together as a team. That's all you need, right?
Yeah, I'll
create a conversation, right? You fucked up there, why? And you see it immediately. You don't need to dissect it yourself, you don't need to be so. It's a thing, if you're playing a game for fun, you're not going to go and download OBS and record yourself because you're trying to get better at the game. Probably you're just there to have fun, right?
Yeah.
And maybe in that sense, encouraging that would be a lot better, because it'd be a lot easier way to get into it, right? Like we mentioned at the start, like some sort of communications that would be optional, that would leave whatever bad or whatever kind of toxic behavior that would create. The game's pretty old at this point, and I think it'd be really cool to see that, because it would create more opportunity to talk.
I think, yeah, I'm just referring back to sort of what you were saying with team play. I'll give people sort of an inside peek of what the Balance Discord talked about. I'll give a direct example. Renegade got brought up after the Hollow nerfs. Renegade is sort of the big contender, right? And a lot of players. The problem with it is, if I'm honest, is Jalis. Okay, particularly you've got the 1200 meter AoE taunt. Okay, you've got unblockable hammers spinning around you. You've got the stab road. It offers a lot to the team. And I'll give you an example, sort of to promote team play of a balance thing. Stab road is arguably one of the best skills in the game now. It's a pulsing AoE stab. Okay, having that access to your team is a great thing. Brilliant sort of team synergy. Fantastic. The problem is you don't have to be on the road to gain stab. And one of the proposed changes to this was to minimize the time of the stab, because currently I believe it's 3 seconds. So you can run across the road and still have, like, touch the road, have 3 seconds of stab, which is crazy. The proposed change would be to have that you only have the stab on the road, basically. So yeah, it'd be like 1 second. So then you have to think about where you're placing it. You have to sort of, so if you've got a Reaper chasing someone in a straight line, you put the stab down to peel for them in the direction they're going, sort of to promote the team play aspect of it, instead of just going, I'm just going to throw it down on the node and everybody gets stabbed. That needs to be the idea behind all the balances, is going, will this promote team play rather than just I can throw it down and mindlessly and it have an effect. And it's a thing of having minimal effort for huge impact. Like that's this topic which was on recently. People were having huge impact on the game and not knowing what the fuck's going on.
I think it's always a really good topic in Guild Wars 2, actually. People with many games don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, team play needs to be the avenue they need to go down. It's such a, because from everyone knows what ranked's like. Ranked is basically a free for all. It's 1v9 or 2v8 if you duo queuing or something. It's chaos sometimes with it. While in an AT game, I enjoy those so much more. Even if it's like I'm getting 500-0 by rank 55 or worms, I enjoy the game a lot more, because it's like at least I'm making call outs, I'm communicating, we're having a bit of a laugh. I can sort of we can play the best that we can. And I like that, instead of just I can play the best I can and still get up and there's nothing that I can do. In worms, I'm just getting outschooled.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's team play needs to be the focus, and
dude, for sure. We need to encourage more teams like that. That's the funnest thing to watch, funnest thing to play. Like, this is what it's all about, for sure.
Yeah, and
watching good teams go against one another.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Something I kind of wanted to talk about, because as you know, I've been playing other games, and is Overwatch. And I sent you a screenshot of something amazing. This wasn't around when I first played Overwatch. It was actually, it's been implemented. I don't know when it came out, but they've got in the competitive play and in the quick play, you've got, because it used to be how it is in Guild Wars, where you can queue up as anything, it'll match you up and sort of manipulate the comp, and you are with what you're with. It doesn't matter. That's you're stuck with that. So you could have like 3 supports or something stupid. It used to be where you'd have like so many people playing like offensive. So imagine a whole team of like 3 thieves on your team, and everyone's going, "Nah, I like thief. I like thief." What you can queue with now, they got a bit strict and goes, "No, you're gonna have these set roles. You're gonna be either a tank, an offense, or a support." And I was like, that is the best change ever, right? Ever, because it's actually created more diversity. It sounds daft, right? Because people go, "Oh, you could get all these weird team comps," right? Yeah, fair enough. But making sure everyone in ranked has a support, at least one support on their team, cool. Everyone has sort of a side noder, and then you go, right, yeah, either having some roamers, or you have a team fighter. So you have like that. Those are the 3, and then the other 2 can sort of be mix and match. But you have at least one, and I think that's awesome, because you go, "Oh, I need to play." Like, yes, the freedom is there to sort of go, but there needs to be roles. It's a conquest. It's an objective game. And it's so good. And the coolest thing, that this is another feature. I'm just gonna like jump on Overwatch, because I think sort of over time they've created a fantastic sort of quality of life. For those who don't know, when you queue, it says the queue time for each role. So you go, I want a queue as a support. Boom, right? And it said, and it'd be like under 2 minutes, because people need more support. If you want a queue as like an offense, you're waiting over 10 minutes. So it's like, depending on what do you want a fast game? Best start learning the roles that are needed. And I like that. I don't know about you, Craola, but a role system in Guild Wars 2, that's my personal thing. I think it's a good thing.
Like, I mean, I'm thinking of game philosophy behind ArenaNet regarding that. I don't know, but for sure, I think they should at least try and implement something like that just for fun, like tournament week. Let's say they'd make a week of those kind of games where you could queue as this, and that, right?
Yeah, I think in ranked it would make more sense. I think if you leave sort of, because then it encourages people. It's a good segue into into going, okay, this is a class as a good team comp, right? And then if you want to pull some French technology like the Worms do and run some absolute wacky, mental, crazy stuff to beat people and catch people off guard in a team environment where you can sort of organize with 5 people and go, listen, we're going to run 3 renegades. All right, cool. But in ranked, if you've got like sort of people who are in different roles who you can't communicate with, it's a bit of chaos.
Yeah,
It's just
for sure.
yeah.
I think as well, like I'd like to criticize the game a little bit here. Like the tournament week was, like I saw a lot of people streaming that. Less than would be cool, but it was really interesting to see like players as well as ourselves here with the fucking podcast are are putting are trying to put at least a lot of effort into cultivating a healthy PvP scene, right?
Yes.
I think that should be rewarded. And I don't think that should be overlooked.
Yeah, I really liked. I
I
enjoyed that
would-
PvP week. I think it was brilliant. I loved the little tournaments of like 2v2s, 3v3s. We never took part in the stronghold, but it was, dude, it's pog. Like seeing that on Twitch, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But we just, I'm just thirsty for some content. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I need some good stuff. That's why I've been playing other games and sort of getting my little bit of joy from it because it's in a drought, I would say. Like, we've got
It's been a drought for years, bro. Like this is the mantra of Guild Wars. If a Guild Wars 2 PvP player, that's the usual. So an on and off relationship is a must. It's like it's just how it is. Why? Well, the game doesn't really change much. So even if you leave it for a couple of months, half a year, 3/4 of a year usually, whatever it be, you come back, you can still play what you were playing, or the build is a little changed, or there's nothing that's really making anything different, which I don't know. I'm tempted to call the status quo right now. I think like it's just the way it is right now, and you could bet your ass it's gonna stay like this.
Yeah, I'm just excited. My hope is with this sort of new expansion, which we don't know when it's coming out. We don't know when it's going to get announced. We don't know anything about it.
Focus on PvP, right? Just like
Yeah,
they did.
I would
in Guild
love
Wars.
just not focus on PvP. Just give like I want a new game. I'll just need sort of a breath of fresh air in it, some like real content. Whether it's a new game or be like, right, we're putting conquest aside. That's no longer the main game mode. This is going to be, and we're like, oh damn, and they put a lot of resources into it because it means you've got from there instead of just having how old's the game? 8 years old now? 10?
Yeah.
8 years old? Yeah. You've got that the same game mode for 8 years. Okay, fair enough. That's whatever.
Well, they tried. They tried implementing Stronghold, and look at it today.
Yeah, but it needs a rework. It just needs something different to completely shake things up and keep things fresh. Take a risk, which I don't think they will do because Guild Wars 2 is a very safe game.
Tell you what kind of risk that I think would be really cool to see, right? So the base of the game is in PvE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not bring PvP closer to PvE if the balance is so reliant upon it or each other?
I don't know. I
Why
think
not bring it closer? You know,
yeah,
why have it as this secluded edge of the mist or whatever it is, just like trolling around in the middle of the air and some rocks, that being the only PvP like designated. I think in that sense, like it's I don't know how the game was made and what kind of way they were thinking, but I think like PvE, World v World, PvP, there were supposed to be these separate big communities of players, right?
mm-hmm.
And like nowadays, PvP community is really small.
Yeah.
PvE community is big. World v World community, I don't know about it. But
Well,
like bringing these together at this point, I think would be perfect for the game. If you're talking, especially if you're talking about daring decisions and taking risks, this would be proper. And like the first idea I would have is like the main city, whatever that may be, in Kantha, like Kaineng City. Just put a 1v1 arena in the middle of that fucking square. Just a circle that's a 1v1 arena.
yeah,
Bring it to the like bring structure like that, bring it closer to the community too. PvP is a really important part of the game. it's not just about skins and PvE and bosses. You know, PvP is a big thing. I want to preach that.
Yeah. It's not it's out of our hands with that sort of thing. But I'm gonna bring the topic back onto some PvP goodness, right, Craola? What are you maining for this season? What's gonna be your go to? You know, what are you feeling?
So I'm feeling really nice because I'm just trying out everything. But right now, I'm really feeling confident with Rev just mauling people.
Yeah, dude. And I am being a full on degenerate, so apologies, community, but I'm not sorry as well. I am playing Condi Thief this season, so if you see me in a game, get your Condi cleanse ready. I'm being a full degenerate. I was just like, you know what? I've played DP for basically since I'd started the game with a dabble of SD. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna really be a full degenerate because the thing is, we've talked about this a few times. The pleb farmer, like DH, is the ultimate pleb farmer, and I would say to an extent, Condi Thief fits that because an organized team can shut down, kind of deal with a Condi Thief. You've got all the thieves coming in, you get your burst, things like that. But I can kind of sit there and go, okay, I've watched him use his heal. Okay, there's his Condi cleanse, and then I'm gonna burst. And in reality, players who don't have comms going don't know when that's turning up. And comboing that with you on power rev, you've got the power rev burst, you've got all the condis being dropped on you. There's nothing people can do. It's a dangerous combo, and I like it. It's full degenerate. I haven't had any hate mail yet. Oh no, saying that I did have hate mail the other day. It was very enjoyable because someone didn't enjoy the Thieves Guild coming in on top of them. Full scumbag, you know. I'm bringing it this season. That's the thing. That's my aim, and you're just going to be a nice player, Craola, with some power of saying that.
Nice player.
How do you feel the Hollow nerfs have? Because you were playing a lot of Hollow last season, actually.
Yeah, I don't care about the nerfs. Hollow's really strong.
Yeah. Do you feel like the might nerf was enough, like down to 1 might rather than 2? Or do you still think that?
Yeah, I think it's like this topic is a bit of a double-edged sword because it depends on what tier of gameplay you're talking about. You know? Like a really good Hollow doesn't care for this. I'm not saying I'm really good Hollow, but right now I've played Rev. Every good Hollow that I've come across, I've not noticed a difference, and it's obvious. Like I know the class, and I think it's okay. I don't mind it. A lot of people are saying that the meta is really tanky right now, which sure, yeah, I guess. There's a lot of Condi in my personal opinion, just because I hate Condi. But my biggest problem right now is getting good games, and I have 11,000 games, and I can't get good games.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 games are bad games, and I'm playing really well every game. Not like I'm focusing. I'm really wanting to play good. We're both playing most of the games. It's just a bad experience right now.
Yeah, I think we need some. I'm excited for the Steam release, right? As much as that's going to bring, it's going to be like the Christmas noobs for like Call of Duty games, but it's our equivalent. Players who've never played before, and they're going to be jumping in. But the good thing is, I'm going to put the silver lining. Yes, the games are probably going to be crazy, but it's going to be an opportunity for us players who know the game to get some farm some plebs. They're going to be getting some free kills, which is going to be our job to farm the enemy plebs before our team plebs get farmed. Know what I mean? So I think having some new blood in, like a fresh population coming in to the game, what their experience might be will be like, oh my god, why am I getting matched with these guys? Or it might go, how do I get that good? And I just want new, because the population will be a lot better if we get more players in, hands down. But it's been delayed, which we talked about briefly. It is what it is. Can't have an effect on that, but it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to having the Steam players come and joining us. How
For sure.
how do you think it'll affect having big new players into PvP? Do you think it's a good thing?
For sure, yeah, of course. This is what I'm preaching, basically. Bring more players. Like bring PvE players to PvP. Somehow introduce PvP a lot better because everybody's going through this, like getting their ass handed to them for the first couple hundred games on the first couple builds they try, not really being aware of anything. And then, as we've mentioned 1,000 times, the game does a really bad job at teaching people anything regarding PvP. So
Yeah.
of course, new players are perfect, but also teaching those new players, like, sure, like you're talking mentality, but dude, if I'm getting pissed off at 11,000 games, I don't see people sticking around.
It,
Who's sticking around? You know what I
here's
mean?
here's what I propose.
Teams, those that know how to have fun in a team environment, those are sticking around as well as we are, because that's the gist. Like, if you want to have fun, you need to play with the guys you're playing with. Like, otherwise, it'd be solo queue, 1v1 or whatever, duel.
Here's what I propose. Now, this is a big ask of the community because I know we're all a bunch of degenerates who don't like doing things. Because doing things is hard. But especially when the Steam release happens, it's going to be our job as the PvP community to sort of teach these players. And if you see I'm going to be honest, a complete fuckwit running into a 1v5, don't just scream it in and tell him he's just like an idiot. Be like, yo, dude, and you can probably see by how they play, what they might not have the the expansion, something like that. Something might be going, and just message them and be like, yo, are you new to the game? If they say yes, sort of offer them a little bit of help. It doesn't matter what rank you are or you rate it. Just go, yo, maybe check out Gods of PvP for a good build to win in ranks. Yo, have you joined the Welcome to PvP Discord server? Things like that sort of point them in the right direction of ways to learn instead of just being like, you're trash, uninstall. Because that's not what people want. We need to teach them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of, you're preaching a really nice thing right here, but it's kind of difficult doing that as well. Like, it's hard not getting pissed off in the middle of the game where you're like 1v3ing or whatever the situation is, and you just see your guy doing that stupid thing or whatever, and you see the game just as a loss. Like, whatever, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And games are like this. Sure, I think it's, people, we need to teach each other. Yes.
I think the important thing would be if you see someone in unranked doing that, because they're going to be in unranked before they come ranked. You got to what, rank 25? I don't know. I don't even know what rank you have to be now to join into rank.
Yeah, you're saying not to don't call them out, like, and be a dick to them. Be respectful and try to at least, like, say this or that. I think our idea on, like, the voice comms, that's perfect for this. It's everybody changes when it comes to communication, to voice communication. Some people troll, whatever, like, but if you could mute them, this wouldn't be a problem. I think this would be the perfect encouragement, because it's voice communication, and you're not gonna say retard, the fuck you're gonna say no, don't move there. I'm going here, whatever it may be. People tend to be a lot more respectful when it comes to communication, especially when it's in this kind of medium.
Yeah, I think if they do not, you've got to sort of encourage good behavior, and instead of just being like, nope, we're not having any comms because people might be toxic. Like, yeah, dude, the mute button exists for a reason. Like, we use it in houses. Like, if we've had people sort of hit dicks, and they just get the straight server mute button on. Unlucky, no fun for you.
But we have nobody's been a dick, really.
No, that's what I mean.
30 people in, and nobody's talking over each other, trying to do anything. But it's such a nice environment, and it's all PvPers that just want to PvP and have fun.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. In game though, like when we've got players who don't know, that's what we need to encourage, because, like we were saying, comms is everything. A team, like, you can have a good team with comms and a good team without comms. I'm pretty confident. Like, yes, there's certain individuals where you can, in 1v1s, you've got a good chance, but calling out when a thief is sort of coming over to +1 you can start kiting immediately. you can create value, you can call like bursts on targets. It's so much easier, and those key like call outs can swing a game, and that needs to be encouraged.
Yeah. I mean, we're not game developers. We know not, but we're just like our experience. Definitely, we can speak for the in-houses. Like, it's people want to communicate and have good games.
Well, dude, look at any PvP game. Like any PvP game, every single one has comms. Everyone has team comms.
Really?
Dude, every game I've played, like bar Guild Wars, even Guild Wars 1 didn't have it. But you've got sort of even like FPS games, like they're huge on it. Like they encourage it. Like say any Call of Duty, you go in and voice comms with people. You've all got headsets, stuff like that, and it's give people the option in game. Like yes, Discord exists, but in ranked, I can't go join a call with like Joe Blogs, who's randomly on my team. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna type, dude. There is a 1v. Why run into a 1v5 or thief coming? I can pick the ping system. Brilliant. I love that. But there needs to voice comms could be so important. Like yes, you're gonna get the screamer down the mic, mute, and continue talking with the rest of the team who want to.
You think it'd be a big thing to implement this?
I have no idea. I don't know. It would obviously require some resources, but I think just having the option of a party voice chat, that's it, or a team voice chat, that's it. You don't need anything else. You can offer it like World v World. They have Discords. I think in PvP, encourage that sort of behavior. Because what's the negative? Like at the end of the day, I don't see a downside. Like yes, you might have the screaming person, but the mute button exists. Cool, done.
I got an idea. This may be like completely off topic or whatever. Like, imagine the PvP Discord server, like welcome to PvP or whatever. Like make a new one. That every unranked game you'd go, you like type that in team chat, map chat, and go players like join these Discords if you want to like talk, and like just do it at every game, and like eventually you'd rack up a lot of players, and maybe you could get more communication that way.
It would be cool, but to have things like that's sort of us, the community, brute forcing it. But I would like to see something in like physically in game, because the community does a lot, right? You've got Teapot's tournament currently going on. You've got our in-houses. You've got like all the content creators out there. They do a hell of a lot for the PvP scene, right? And sort of it's the quality of life changes. I feel like the game mode is fine, right? It's fine. The balance will happen regardless. Like it will change. People can talk about balance. It's a huge part of sort of the content drop, but it needs some quality of life changes, sort of to encourage these things, such as voice comms, such as like role queues, things like these little quality of life will go. What would actually improve the game without touching balance? It's as daft as that is. If you could, that's the sort of development I would like to see, instead of just putting resources into the new inventory system, which makes me want to like punch my monitor. I don't know if you've seen them, Craola.
Seen what?
The new inventory, the deposit materials. I like that one, but the compact is that it's on the outside. It's just it was just such a dumb change. It was fine the way it was, and they're like, oh, let's put some resources into changing that. Like, why?
I think that's a good thing. I think inventory tabs would be perfect. Like where you could have like tabs, you know what I mean? Of inventory, one tab.
Yeah.
You'd have the other tab, like, and that's really easy changes.
If you see the buttons though, they've implemented, and I'm like, what? Why? What was wrong with like the old system was fine. You click on the settings button, you go deposit materials, you go sit like compact, instead of like, oh, we'll move them buttons out there and just throw everybody off. Cheers. Brilliant.
I don't know. I really want to see more communication within the community, within the PvP community, like itself. I want more good games. Like, let's not forget, this is all stemming out of love for this game, right? This is the best game in most of our opinions PvP wise, it's the best game. And everybody's wanting, like, everybody sees the potential in it, right? Everybody feels what it could be, but really simply put, the games for a long time aren't really good that you get. And that needs to be addressed and fixed, like however way you put it. Like,
Yeah, I have no idea, but this has been a big old rant from us with sprinkles of
yeah,
sort
you
of.
called it.
Oh, dude, I told you that's what this our podcast is. It's a platform to get players on and talk about, have a good discussion, but it's also a platform for me and you to rant for 40 minutes or longer.
For sure. Like, this is we're PvPers. We're players of the game.
Yeah, that's it. But I think we'll finish this wrap up this rant. We're gonna try to get some guests on because we've just had the CMC on, so we've been a bit rather busy, sort of dealing with things like that. We'll try and get another guest on. We've got a few people sort of lined up who we want. Those who see us in game, I bet you can't burst me because I'm running Shadow Arts. You know, game on. You know, I'm gonna burst every single one of you fools. And yeah, is there anything you want to add, Craola?
Check out our YouTube content, our videos. Join the in-house leagues for good plays, good games. If anybody's wanting to come on the podcast, contact us. We're here to talk. We're open to communication always. Whoever wants to maybe take part in coaching, we're trying to add coaching in the in-houses. Is welcome to do so. Whoever would want to try commentary of the games, welcome to join. Whoever would want to join with the approach, we're trying to implement as well this comp strategy guide kind of thing, where we're coming up with basically a strategy to have good games going. So what comps would work against one another, what kind of builds. Everybody is welcome to join in this communication, this debate, whatever, because we're really kind of lacking players willing to talk about this. So yeah, I'm want to encourage that. So far, as well, everybody's been really cool. I'd like to thank you all for that as well. Everybody's really cool in this community.
Yeah,
It's just the incentive. Like, it's hard to put it in words sometimes, but we want to see more love. You know, definitely. This is why we're putting it in. So
yeah. So if you want to get more involved with the PvP community, you're like, dude, I like shouting at my monitor. Do some shoutcasting for us, you know, commentate the games. Like we want interaction with the community as much as possible. You got a cool idea, put it forward. We'll try and implement it as well.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right, and the ArenaLabs Sneaks and Craola, episode 16.
Oh, dude, I don't even know what am I on. I'm gonna have to check this thing. I'll have to check. I don't even know what we're on. No, this is episode 17, dude.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
Signing up.
Stay competitive. See you all in the arena.